First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. As I've been doing all week, I keep going to this camera looking for the ice and snow to be gone. And you know what? I got to say, it does look a lot better than it did yesterday. It's still there, but much more amenable to getting out and getting around. And so I appreciate that, as does probably everybody. Thanks for joining us again. I said, I'm Greg Nibbler here. Thank you for joining us. And we are live streaming on our website, on our apps, and on our social media channels. So appreciate you being here and being a part of the show. We cover a lot of different things, and weather's certainly something we've been talking about this week. And a lot of people have been cooped up and are ready to get out. And there's something you can do about that, and that is the 7th annual Wassail Cider Festival that is going on. And I said that correct because I had to clarify that with our experts who are joining us right now, and that is Davis Palmer and Racquel Chappell. Thank you very much for being here with us to talk about this, to talk about cider. And I think to start off, just so everybody can be clarified on the correct pronunciation, in case I screwed it up again, can you tell us that one more time?
It's Wassail.
Wassail.
Yeah, so
Thank
Wassail
you.
Cider Fest this weekend. We're really excited about it.
And tell us about the festival. Well, I guess to start off, could you introduce yourselves too, and just tell us about your role here in the industry and cider in general?
Yeah, definitely. We both work out at Edgefield property. We make all of the cider and wine for all of McMenamins. I'm the head cider maker. Davis is the winemaker. But we work together as a team doing all of it. So yeah, we have been a big part in organizing this event happening out at CPR this weekend. And we're excited that the snow is melting and we're getting out there.
Yeah, it is a good time to go do that. I think everybody needs to get out. So talking about the Cider Fest, so 7th annual one. Walk us through that. What was the first one like, and what was maybe the impetus of even starting this festival to begin with?
Yeah, it started out in 2015, right? Was the first one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So this is our 7th. We're really excited. It's grown year after year. We have 15 cideries coming out this year. And it's a big cider festival, but also just the tradition of wassail and bringing in that fun atmosphere.
And let's talk about that. What is the tradition of wassail?
Yeah, love to talk about it. So wassail it means good health. And the idea behind it is that it is bringing in the new year and blessing the next crop of apple trees and warding away any bad spirits that may prevent from some great growth. And so we do that in celebration of just lots of merriment, drinking, singing, dancing, lots of music. It's a really good time.
And wassail is really a traditional thing that goes back from a long ways, I suppose.
Yes, it's a traditional pagan holiday, and it's just brought on at the new year.
Fantastic. And so let's talk about that, the specific celebration that you mentioned there. So, warding off the spirits that could harm the apples or the harvest for the year. What else goes into it for a celebration like this, though?
Yeah, so we encourage people to dress up and wear things that are like traditional to that time, but also just in honoring the nature, lots of feathers and whatever type of things you could have to grace the trees with. But then we also do a very traditional toast. And so what that actually means is we go around with big chalices of cider and we have people dip toast and actually bless the trees with them. And so they put the toast on the trees. The idea behind that is that we have insects coming to ward off any bad spirits, and then also eat the bread that's not going to go after our crop. And then with that, we have Morris men coming out, and they do a very traditional dance and song and blessing to it. And everybody's out in the orchard singing and just having a good time.
Everything but the traditional bonfires will be there.
Everything but the bonfires.
Yes. Yeah. So we'll have our small little fires out there like we typically have at Cornelius Pass, but no huge bonfire. But other than that, it's a lot of community coming together to have a good time to bring in the new year. So a lot of it has to do with getting ready for a new year, and especially after the week that we've had this last year, I think we're ready to move past what we've been in this last week. So things are clearing out at Cornelius Pass, and we're really excited to have people join us for this cider festival.
It's
And then
yeah, sounds amazing.
cider.
Oh, continue. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, the focus is cider. So there's a large part of it is the cider tasting. We also have a real traditional, very cool octagonal barn out there with a heater inside of it, a wood stove that keeps that a really cool character place that has a lot of charm to it. So it's a really unique event that people should check out what a wassail is. And we find that year after year it grows because people who've come one year come another year because they have a great time. So it'll be a good way to ring in a new year, a new start to the winter we're having.
Absolutely, yeah. And talking about cider too in general, I mean, just as a category, it's expanded so much over the last, several years, but I mean, even more than that. But it's such a huge part of it now. And I guess to talk about that, since this is a cider fest, can you go into that just a little bit more and explain what kinds of cider are going to be there and what some of the differences are?
Sure, we'd be glad to. I mean, I'll start because for us, Edgefield started with McMenamins Cider, and that started in 1992. And we started producing cider because most of our locations kind of have a little bit of an English feel to them. They're pubs, so pubs have always had ciders in them. And we were probably one of the first people in the Northwest to have a draft cider. So that's where it started for us. But then around 2005 is when cider really took off. And so then there's now this more of a Northwest movement in the cider industry. And so it's grown out of that. So we have a lot of Oregon and Washington producers that are coming, but as well, we have one international that's kind of showing some of the longer history of what cider is. So cider has a really long and unique history, both in America and in Europe. And you get a little slice of that. But we also have, just a unique opportunity here in the Northwest to produce great ciders because of the apple orchards that are right around us. And we just have a very unique balance of having a receptive audience, people who like to go to the pub, and great opportunity to create a really good product.
I was going to ask that just to go into that a little bit more. What is it about the Northwest that makes it such a great place for cider?
Well, we have one of the best places to grow apple trees. We're located in a really great spot. I think also additionally, the people who make the cider here are also lovely, and it's just such a great opportunity for us to all get together and kind of also ring in the new year together through another successful year. I mean, we've watched the cider industry grow so much here, and it's just really exciting seeing it to continue to grow.
And going to the festival itself, going back to that too. So say someone is walking in for the first time, they haven't been to the other 6, they're coming here to the 7th annual Cider Festival. What can one expect when they walk into the Cider Fest for the first time?
Sure. I mean, it is really a fun time. So immediately you're going to see a bunch of people dressed up in this more traditional attire, which is really a big delight to see. But then also it's kind of 3-parted. So we have our tasting tent where all the wineries or the cideries will be. And then we have our barn where you'll have live music, chance to dance and be along there. And then we have the orchard, which is where we'll all go out and bless the apple trees. And then we also additionally have a costume contest that'll happen after that too.
So the costumes are kind of a combination of either honoring nature, so people with headdresses with flowers in them is very common to see, but there's also like this old English tradition, so people in knickers, you might see some of that, but you're going to see a broad spectra of people having a good time.
I love it. I love the whole range. Are you two going to be dressed up as well?
We got a little get up that will,
No spoilers, but I just.
No spoilers, yeah.
Well, let's let everybody know too and remind them of when and where and how they can go to the event. I know we've mentioned it throughout, but I just want to make sure that everybody knows.
Sure.
Sure. It's going to be at Cornelius Pass on Saturday, tomorrow. It starts off at 3 o'clock and goes till 8. Definitely encourage people to get there early at the opening so that you can really be a part of all of the festivities. And bring in this great new year. It's also a great chance to, ward off this snow we've had and get out there and enjoy the winter.
Well, anything else you think people should know?
We encourage people to wear boots that can be out in the orchard, wear layers. It gets warm in certain parts when you're in the tent, and then it gets cold when you're outside. We also may have some rain, so prepare for that as well.
Okay, actually, one other question too, just for ciders. What would be, if say someone is not a regular cider drinker, what would be the good gateway cider to try?
Well, we are actually featuring a cocktail cider that we're going to have there, featuring our Cheshire orange liqueur. And so that's kind of a great approach to it because it's kind of combining a cocktail with cider. We will also have whiskey barrel aged cider, which is really interesting for people who are more whiskey drinkers.
This might be top level.
So I think those are great options. And really get to kind of see that cider is a full spectrum. It's not really what we think about, necessarily what we see in the grocery stores every day.
Yeah, whiskey barrel aged cider. I definitely would like to try that one. That's
Yeah.
that's amazing. Well, Davison Racquel, thank you so much for joining me here today and talking about this. And yep, we're getting out of the weather, so I think everybody's going to want to go find something to do here. And this sounds fantastic. So congratulations, 7th annual event, and for everything that you're doing. And thanks for joining me here on Fox 12 Now.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye. Have a good
All
one.
right, thanks. You too. All right, so there we go, talking about cider here in the Northwest and a great festival there. So that's something everybody can get out and do this weekend if they so want to. And I know we've covered the weather a lot here this week, but if there is more to talk about, we will definitely bring that up. But we are going to be talking about how it's affected people. So coming up here in just a little bit, we're actually going to speak to a chef from a restaurant about their experiences, just how this has affected business and what's going on in their lives associated with everybody being essentially shut down here over the last week or so. So we're going to be discussing that. And if there's any breaking news, we'll have that as well. And as always, you can join us over on the app. So if you download the Fox 12 Oregon app, I've got more things that go on over there that won't be on social media. So you want to go over there to catch some of the other things that we're going to be talking about. But we will be back at 1:30 with another Fox 12 Now interview. So that's going to be on YouTube, on Facebook, on our apps, and our website. So thanks for joining us. We'll sign off for right now. I'll talk to you over on the apps. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.